Clarity on Fire, a podcast for people who know what they don't want out of their life and career, but aren't sure what they'd rather be doing.
In a world where it's easy to exist, but hard to feel alive, we, Kristen
and Rachel,
2 certified life and career coaches, are here to help you cut through the information overload, get unstuck, and focus not just on how you can have a career you're passionate about, but how to create a whole life that feels fulfilling.
So join us here, where we serve up inspiration and down-to-earth wisdom in a way that only 2 best friends can.
We want you to experience the relief of knowing that, yes, you're allowed to want more out of your life and career.
And no, you don't have to wander through the dark anymore. Our job is to light the fire that shows you the way. Let's go. This is the second time we're doing this. We didn't do it fast enough last time. We just rambled.
It was so rambly.
Okay. So first order of business is today is the first day for you to get access to an interview series that we're a part of. It's only going to be around for 3 days until Friday, June 7th in the morning. So literally now from like 9 a.m. Central, technically. So that's 10 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific to Friday at the same times. You can access our new friend, Caroline Garnett McGraw's interview series. It's called the Clarity Course series. So obviously we had to participate in that. And the subtitle is How to Handle Doubt, Get Unstuck, and Live Your Purpose. We'll be talking about passion profiles. So you can listen to that. Some of you are going to be like, you've talked about this a million times, which is why I actually asked her, hey, could you give everyone access to all of the interviews that came first? And she said, that's a really good idea. Yes. So she's opening up to everyone, not just our audience, but literally anyone, all of the interviews that came before ours in this series, which has been going on for like months now. So I talked her into giving you guys stuff. So I hope that you will go download some of the other interviews in this series from experts who are worth listening to on this subject.
How many experts in total?
I think 11, because you and I are 2 experts, but technically we're 1. So 10 interviews.
Okay.
We're the only dual, like 2 people in one.
That's usually true.
I mean,
about
that's
us.
always true. So Caroline is an author. She's a speaker. She's actually spoken at multiple TEDx events, which is impressive. And she's written a book. And she's also just really cool and nice. And she's an INFJ.
She's just the nicest, smartest person. You guys are going to love her. She's very likable. And she's collected really, really cool experts. And you have 3 days to listen to 10 experts. So let's get on it.
And each interview is about 30 minutes. So it's not going to take you 8 years to listen to them if you spend a few days downloading them and listening as you drive or as you walk or whatever. So we hope that you will take advantage of the negotiating I did to get you more access to experts, even though I didn't really negotiate. I just threw it out there and she said, that's a good idea. But I'm just going to act like I was like a real boss.
And practicing those negotiation skills that we talked about.
Okay. So second order of business. Oh, if you want to register for that, obviously link is in the episode description. That should go without saying, but it's free. Go to the episode description of this episode, scroll down. You can sign up real quick and you'll get notified in your inbox with a link to download and to watch all the interviews, which they are on video, FYI. I'm sure you don't have to watch, but they are video-based interviews. So second order of business is that this is a blog.
Today's blog. Today's blog is actually a throwback blog from 2017. But I've been resending it to a lot of clients recently, so I figured that's proof that it's time it needs to come back.
Something is up. People need to know about bridge jobs right now, or they're considering getting a bridge job.
Maybe it's spring. Maybe people are more energized to make changes. I don't know why, but this feels like it needs to come back again.
Cabin fever, spring fever. They're like, I can't do this another day, but I also need to pay my rent. What do I do?
Right. So I talk about how to know when you need to get a bridge job, and then what are the things you need to look for in a bridge job to make sure that it meets the needs.
Yeah, not everything is qualified to be a bridge job. And sometimes you'll make your situation worse by thinking you're getting a bridge job that doesn't actually meet the criteria of a good bridge job.
And sometimes you think you need one, but you really don't. So I get into all of that in today's blog. So here you go.
Enjoy.
Why everything can get easier when you get a bridge job. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Every Sunday evening, you have a growing sense of dread as the last few hours of your weekend slip by. Most mornings, you can barely drag yourself out of bed because you can't imagine spending another day at your job. You have big plans for your after-work hours, but after 8+ hours at your job, all of that flies out the window because you're flat out exhausted. You hardly have enough energy to pick up dinner on the way home and zone out to a few hours of Netflix. You have a habit of casually scrolling through job postings, but rarely have the energy to actually apply for anything. That is, until you have a particularly awful day at work, and then you spend hours checking every job board you can think of and sending out rapid-fire applications. You, my friend, have a draining job, and you need a new strategy. Most of my clients who are in this situation know that they need a change, and they're desperate to escape their miserable, sometimes even toxic environment. They want to find their dream job, someplace where they're engaged, supported, passionate, and making a positive impact. They dream of waking up in the morning without that persistent feeling of dread, maybe even with a sense of eagerness to do something that they care about. The trouble is, finding a dream job can take time. It's like finding a partner or a best friend. It usually doesn't happen on your timeline. Dream jobs are rare, and that's what makes them special and exciting. You've got to sift through a lot of meh jobs before you find a true gem. While I've seen clients find amazing jobs within weeks, it usually takes months or longer. You see the dilemma here. When you're in a draining job that you hate, you're ready to leave like yesterday. And yet, it may take months to find your dream job. So what do? Staying in your current job, where you're drained, exhausted, and desperate to leave ASAP, is only going to grow your sense of urgency and desperation. More than likely, you'll find yourself settling for another not so great, but maybe slightly better than where you're at now job, just to escape sooner. I have a better strategy for you. Enter the bridge job. What exactly is a bridge job? A bridge job is a temporary job that gives you space to catch your breath, regain your energy, and provide some low-pressure income while also giving you time and energy to work toward finding your dream job. I love the phrase bridge job because I visualize it as an actual bridge connecting two shorelines on opposite sides of a river. You want to cross over from where you are now to where you want to be. Sure, you could always swim across, fighting the current and wearing yourself out, which is what it feels like to keep showing up at a job you hate day after day. Or you could save yourself a lot of energy and simply find a bridge to cross over. What makes a great bridge job? Okay, so what makes a great bridge job? A bridge job should ideally be something you're naturally good at and don't have to think too hard about. Not put much strain on your physical, mental, or emotional energy so you can focus the majority of your energy on your dream job search. Fund your baseline living expenses. Have reasonable, predictable hours with little or preferably no chance of overtime. Have a positive environment. And be in a company or industry with high turnover where you won't feel much guilt after leaving after about a year or less. If you're lucky, you may even find a bridge job that helps you develop a skill you've been wanting to hone, or network with people who could help with your dream job search. While those things are nice to have, they're not necessary to getting the full benefit of a bridge job. Remember, the whole point of a bridge job is to release the pressure to escape your current situation immediately so that you have a clear mind to make quality decisions about what you want to commit to next. I know what you're thinking. The idea of getting a bridge job can bring up all kinds of fears and questions. In case you're wondering or worried about any of the following, all of which I've heard directly from my clients, here's my preemptive response. What if I get stuck in this bridge job? When you've been in a miserable, toxic job for a while, a bridge job can feel like such a massive relief that it's natural to worry that you might find yourself staying there for longer than you intended. That's why it's important to set an intention about how long you'll stay before you even get started. Set a check-in date with yourself to reassess how you're feeling after a few months and put it on your calendar, and then ask someone you trust to hold you accountable. Won't this be taking a step backward in my career? I understand why you might worry that a bridge job feels like a step backward, since it may not follow the linear progression of how a career quote-unquote should look. Huge emphasis on the quotes around should. But if it's setting you up to be more clear-headed, energized, and prepared for your dream job once you find it, then that feels like a positive step forward in my book. Will I screw up my resume with a bridge job? Not at all. To a quality employer, it matters far less how your resume looks in isolation and way more how you explain your experience in a cover letter and interview. Be upfront and honest about why you took a temporary job and how it's improved your mindset, health, and energy. Not everyone will understand, but your dream job company, the place where you'll feel acknowledged, supported, and inspired, absolutely will. Won't it take even longer to get my dream job this way? It may feel like getting another job before pursuing your dream job will make the whole process take a lot longer. But in my experience, it just doesn't work that way. When you're desperate to escape a miserable job, that energy is palpable and off-putting, and it can get in the way of you representing yourself in the best light to potential employers. But when you're content where you are and simply looking for a new, exciting opportunity, that's a far more attractive energy. But I want to start my own business. Does it make sense to get a bridge job if I ultimately want to work for myself? Yes. In fact, bridge jobs can be a perfect transition from full-time employment to full-time self-employment. They can provide some supplementary income as you build up your business without diverting too much energy and focus from your bigger business vision. You're not broken or immature if your job is draining the life out of you. A client who's currently looking for a bridge job recently asked me, "Do you think I'm being immature or childish by feeling so strongly against my current job? I wonder now if I'm just being too dramatic and I need to learn to grow up, suck it up, and be an adult." In case you're feeling the same, here's what I told her. I want to say this as strongly as I possibly can. No, you are not being immature or childish for disliking your current job and so desperately wanting out. Being mature doesn't mean ignoring how you feel about something and fighting against the current. Your feelings about this job are real, and trying to ignore or repress them doesn't make you a better adult or more responsible. It just makes you miserable. Your feelings about this are trying to tell you something. They're screaming, "You don't belong here." And listening to that message doesn't make you weak or immature. It makes you wise. Bridge jobs aren't for everyone. If you're already in a job that's perfectly fine, but clearly not dream job status, then you likely don't need a bridge job. Although you could start thinking of your current job as your temporary bridge job. That alone can be a huge perspective shift. Instead of thinking of your current job as a waste of your time, you could choose to see it as the bridge that's leading you toward something bigger and better. However, if you related to any or all of the experiences I listed at the beginning of this blog, a bridge job might be just what you need right now. I'd love to hear what you think about bridge jobs. Could a bridge job be exactly what you need right now? Have you benefited from a bridge job in the past? Leave a comment to let me know.
All right, here's just your second reminder. And this is really the only reminder you're going to get because by the time we're back on Friday, it's going to be over. So go RSVP or register for the Clarity Course Series workshop, whatever it's called. It's not really a workshop series. It's more of a video series, an interview series. Yeah. And go listen to some of the experts she's put together. I read all of the experts and the titles of all of their talks, and many of them sounded like things you guys need to hear. So go download those and make our new friend Caroline happy.
Okay, and then we will see you again on Friday with a new Dear Crachel.
Yeah, I mean, still one of our favorite things to do. Also, send in Dear Crachel questions when it occurs to you. I know that sometimes you're not thinking about it because you're probably not spending all day thinking about me and Kristen. I flatter myself to think you're probably not. But
hopefully not. That would be kind of weird if you were.
Yeah, please don't, actually.
But if you have moments in your day when you're like, man, I don't know what to do about this situation, or I'm feeling a little bit stuck.
Remember, we love answering these questions.
Be a little good clue to, hey, maybe I should ask that question and get it answered on the podcast.
Maybe you're just afraid to ask it because you're like, oh no, what if they tell me something I don't want to hear? Or maybe they're going to make me take action and I don't want to take action. Or maybe I'm just going to be embarrassed. But you can change your name. Come up with a fun acronym. Or
we have all kinds of names that people come up with.
Who cares?
To hide their identity.
Come up with a pseudonym.
And also, if you hate our advice, you can just leave it. That's fine too.
Who cares? Well, I mean, care enough to listen, but don't care enough to take it word for word. Always, always, always decide what works best for you and leave the rest. That's our motto.
Yeah. Filter it all through your own intuition first.
Okay, this is enough. We'll see you on Friday with a new Dear Crachel.
Okay, see you then.